And those babies with kind of some of those eating habits are more likely to have a higher BMI later
Later
on
in
in
life.
childhood.
Yep.
Is there evidence linking early feeding interventions to closing that gap in BMI in different
Oh,
social, economic
okay.
groups and even ethnic groups?
Um, yes, so there is evidence that there are feeding habits or feeding patterns you can introduce that will close the gap in obesity throughout the ethnicities. One of them is breastfeeding. And so, of course, breastfeeding allows a child to self regulate. They're hungry, they go to the breast. When they're done, they stop feeding. Another one is the introduction of solid foods. So, within that first year of life, you start to introduce foods, not just formula, not just breast milk. The earlier that introduction, the more likely your child is to be obese. So I have parents that say, "Oh, my child's 4 months and or even 3 months, and they want the chicken that I'm eating." So I give them a little bit of chicken. And yeah, it's the fried chicken, and they like it. That child is more likely to be obese than the 6 month old that starts feeding, but they're starting with peas or carrots, right? And so, yes, those are some of the things.
And is that likelihood because of the likelihood that they will continue in that pattern of eating those types of food, or does it do something to the body to introduce food at that age?
Yes, and yes. So, number one, a child's risk of obesity is highly influenced by their environment and what they see at home. Even a child that is genetically, biologically going to be thin, if you put them in a household where there's nothing but fried food and no vegetables, that child is gonna most likely end up overweight or obese. So, yes, it does have an impact environmentally, but also biologically. So, remember, I talked about when children are first born and they're at the breast and they're deciding if they're satiated or not. And this is something that they have to figure out in their brain, in their stomach, and the hormones that regulate that. If you're in a household where you're not able to self regulate, now your hormones have changed and you ignore ignore the sign that you're full. I know they'll tell adults all the time, if you wait 20 minutes, now your brain has had time to produce hormones and let your brain know that you are full. Same way with kids, right? Same way.